I just want to show you how I wash down sleeping bags. It's probably not the most effective way that they're cleaned, but I purchased a whole bunch of these from a secondhand store. They're military mummy bags. They have some wear on them, but have been mended in several spots. And some of them will need mending because they probably didn't like the washing machine. They have iron-on patches on some places, but I personally like it when they're stitched. I have bought several of these used over the years, but I was really excited to see the larger base bags that they have for the military. They're not so mummy at the bottom so that your feet get claustrophobic. They had a whole bunch of these at a secondhand store for $4 each. You can see it's been mended a few times, but every mummy bag I've ever used has been mended. They get caught on things. Anyway, I pour some, I fill up the tank of the tub of the washing machine, and then I use some OxiClean, Clorox Oxy. I have several different ones I use, and some liquid laundry detergent. And it depends on how big it is. If I'm only washing one at a time, I have about 5 of these I'm washing that I got, but I do them on warm and on a normal wash, and this one wasn't really big, and I did one at a time because what will happen is they'll get off center. And so when you're putting it in, make sure that you unzip it all the way so that the water gets into the inside, and then make sure you make it even in the tub of the washing machine so that it doesn't get off center and stop in the spin cycle before it drains. And then if you notice after before you wash it anyway, if there's any holes, you want to mend those before you wash it, and you will get places where the dirt will get caught in it because it is a bigger thing to clean. And then after you wash it, if you notice any, like this was an iron-on patch or some kind was used to fix it. So before I throw this in the dryer, I'm going to take some quilting thread and stitch that up before I throw it in the dryer. And then I throw it on dryer on not a high heat because it gets balled up and you don't want the outside to get hotter than the inside because it can cause the dryer to overheat. So I put it on a medium heat, and then I set a timer, and after about 20 minutes I'll come and I'll take the whole thing out and then put it back in untwisted, and I'll do that, just keep doing that. You can see here where it's been stitched up, and here where it's been, I want to make sure that's not coming off. It's an iron-on patch. I don't like the iron-on patches because they can be irritating to the skin, whereas and they can come off, like this one came off and just left a mess on the sleeping bag. But stitching it doesn't take very long, and it doesn't irritate the skin. So I would recommend stitching over that patch, and then sometimes it will take several hours, 2 or 3 hours to dry, depending on your dryer heat and capacity. But you can see it looks good, and I'll just stitch that one spot. To double check before you put it in the dryer, because this can clog up your dryer if you have a spot that's open. You don't want to have all the feathers come out. One, it would ruin the efficiency of the bag, and two, your dryer would have a problem collecting all that and it wouldn't vent properly. So just to recap, I'm sure there's a better way. I know many people have told me they do it in the bathtub, and I tried that one time, and that was the only time. You've got this huge, wet, massive, heavy container of feathers, and you can't wring it out properly. So for me, I've done this many, many times over the years. Yeah, that probably breaks the feathers down a little bit, but the dryer fluffs it up, dries it nicely, it's cleaner, it smells good. I also use a handful of dryer sheets in the dryer to, one, that smell will ward off insects for when you're camping or sleeping in it, because they don't like dryer sheets, but two, it makes it smell nice for storage, because obviously we're not going to be using these right now. But anyway, so I just wanted to share with you how I wash down filled sleeping bags. Hope that was helpful.